Narayana, Narayana. Today we are going to listen to two stories which are interrelated and of course as usual with a twist. And the stories are related to Ravana. Ravan was an invincible king and he had won over all the three worlds and all the entities in the universe. So it would rain when he wanted, it would be dry when he wanted, the wind would blow when Ravan wanted, and as a result, he had enslaved the whole world, disturbing the balance of the whole world. And this should not remain to be the case. So, the responsibility of bringing back the natural cycle was bestowed on Sri Narad Muni. Narad Muni went to meet Ravana in Lanka. Ravan was very happy to receive Narad Muni in his darbar and showed him around, boasting about his achievements and the way he had controlled the whole of universe. Narad Muni appreciated his achievements and then made an observation. Ravana, you have got the whole universe under your control, so much so that you have also the Navagraha under your control, and they are the steps to your Simhasan. But what I observe is that when you walk up to your Simhasan, you are stepping on their backs. If you were to step on their chest, that would be something. Ravan thought himself, yes, I have put them in a position for staircase, but they are lying on their chest. They should be lying in reverse position. So he ordered the planets to be lying in the reverse position. And then, stepping on their chest, he went to his Simhasan and sat down. Guess what happened? So far as the gaze of Shani was down, and when they were inverted, the gaze of Shani fell on Ravana, and that is where his downfall began. Story number 2. Ravana, as we said earlier, had enslaved the entire universe, and he wanted a son who would win everywhere, who would even win against the Indra. At the same time, he wanted that son to be an obedient son. That is, he wanted a son who would help him in his own mission. So, he was thinking or ordering the Navagraha to take specific positions because all of them were under his control. But hard as he may try, he was not able to get all the planets in the 11th house. Why 11th house? We'll see later. One or the other planet would get away. So he also consulted Narad Muni, who was supposed to be very accomplished astrologer. So Narad Muni said, doesn't matter if one planet goes here or there. You are so mighty. You got so much of energy, so much of power. How can one sundry planet cause any harm to you? So go ahead. And then Ravan went ahead with the horoscope of Indrajit, which had 6 planets in the 11th house, Saturn in the 12th house, and Ketu in the 5th house. That was the situation for the birth of Indrajit. End of story number 2. And this combination, of course, led to his ultimate problems and ultimate negative happenings in his life. How do these two stories are related? Both these stories are allegories. Both these stories are metaphorically explaining something totally different. They are explaining some astronomical incident. But for that, we have to first understand the astrological significance. Astrologically, the 11th house is the house of wish fulfillment and also the house of wealth or house of gain for the father. Having 7 planets in that or having all planets in that house would mean a son who does what his father desires and does not have any ambitions of his own. And why did Ravan want such a son? It was not for continuance of his lineage, but it was from a greedy and selfish motive. The selfish motive was that his own wealth will increase with no bounds, and he would get a son who would never oppose him, would be obedient, and would be doing exactly what he said or what he wished. And Ravan, being an expert astrologer, he basically thought out mathematically the perfect muhurat for the birth of his son Indrajit. And he chose a muhurat whereby 7 planets would be in the 11th house and Ketu would remain in the 5th house. But the 8th planet, try hard as he might, the 8th planet he was not able to manage, or he was not able to get a timing where all the planets would be in the 11th house. So he let go of Saturn and found a muhurat when 7 planets were in the 11th house, Saturn in the 12th house and Ketu in the 5th house. What does this combination say? This combination says that this would be a person who would be doing as per his father's command and would not have any likings or dislikings or passions or avocation of his own. So he would be a totally dedicated son. But the Saturn in the 12th house played a spoil sport. The Saturn would be looking at the 9th and 10th houses, the house of father. And this is something that resulted in annihilation of the lineage itself. None of the sons of Ravana survived the war, and the kingship went to Bibhishan. And this was the time maybe where Narad Muni's counsel came in handy. Narad Muni, with his knowledge and with his psychology, knowledge of psychology as well as knowledge of astronomy, astrology and other areas, made comments and guided in such a way that there was a win-win situation in terms of the overall good of the universe. And he found a way not only that Ravan was defeated, but a better order prevailed in the world thereafter. And that was the intelligence, or that was the genius of Narad Muni. Narayana, Narayana.